Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Hello and welcome. My name is Rachel Cisco, and I'm the Assistant Project Coordinator of the Rural Health Initiative, joined with Amy Royer, the Project Coordinator. The mission of RHI is to engage partners to share ideas and expertise and to support communities in improving health while stimulating a higher level of wellness across the state. Thank you all for joining us today for our webinar, Montana School Wellness Policy Success Stories Part 2, presented by Katie Bark, Ginny Kirby, Mary Ahnert, and Jonny Morris. A few technical details before we get started. All lines have been set to mute, but at the end of the presentation, we will have a question and answer session. At this time, I will unmute all lines. If you wish to mute your line during the Q&A, you can do so by selecting the microphone icon in the WebEx control panel on your screen. Pressing mute on your phone will work as well. You can also submit questions in the chat box on the right side of your screen during the duration of the presentation, and they will be addressed by the presenters during the Q&A session. If you type in the chat box, please make sure you are sending your comments to all participants, otherwise comments will only be seen by me. Once the webinar is over, you will have the opportunity to provide valuable feedback for RHI through a brief survey. The survey will automatically pop up on your screen and will take just a few minutes to complete. Thank you again for joining us today. I will now roll the ball over to Katie and she can begin the presentation.
Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Katie Bark. Can you see the slides all right?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Let's see here. Just trying to get it to change. There we go. My name is Katie Bark, and I'm the Project Director for the Montana Team Nutrition Program, which is the nutrition education training arm for the school nutrition programs of the Office of Public Instruction. We are located at MSU in Bozeman within the Department of Health and Human Development. Very happy to be here with you today, and would like to thank Montana Rural Health Initiative located at MSU for co-hosting this webinar. We are so pleased that through your help we can help share this information throughout the state. I'm also so pleased that you could join us to hear from Montana School Wellness Champions about action steps that their schools have taken to really teach students about food, nutrition, and give them opportunities to be physically active throughout the school day. This webinar is being recorded, and the presentation file that we're using, a handout that you'll be referred to, and a certificate of completion if you want to use it for professional development hours will be posted at the Rural Health Initiative website. As part of our, go ahead. As part of our work with school wellness, we are able to provide mini grants to help schools support their wellness initiatives. And that's, you're going to hear from two schools today that really use part of our funds to do some of the things that they're doing, but they are working collaboratively and making such an impact on helping kids learn healthy habits. Before we get started, I'd like to just ask you to identify which position you are, because it's good to know who is in the audience. So I'll turn it over to you, Rachel, to do the poll question. Thanks for answering that. It looks like we have a variety of people from food service professionals, teachers, to parent and community members. Thank you for taking time to do that. So before I turn it over to our speakers today, I just wanted to provide a brief introduction to about school wellness, on how important it is in supporting students to be better learners and maintain good health. As you know, healthy kids are better learners, and by working together to create a healthy school environment, children can really be supported in creating lifelong healthy habits. The school wellness policy really ensures that a healthy school environment is created, and it really helps focus on nutrition and physical activities that can help boost brain power. And it also encourages staff to be healthy role models, which in combination with parental influence and education, we can really help children be healthy throughout their lives. Today we're going to focus on what schools have done in nutrition education and in physical activity. Those are two very important components of the school wellness policy, but other components include, what foods and drinks are offered throughout the school, nutrition promotion. But today we're going to be focusing on hearing about nutrition education and physical activity initiatives. A simple way to start creating a healthy school environment in your school is to become a team nutrition school. This slide shows the website that you can go to join, or you can check by putting in your zip code in the database of Team Nutrition Schools to see if you are already a Team Nutrition School. But the benefits of becoming a Team Nutrition School is that you really confirm your school's commitment to creating a culture of wellness, and you also receive some free nutrition promotion and education resources. So I do encourage you to become a Team Nutrition School as a way to really just support you and your staff in creating a healthy school environment. One of the resources I wanted to just show you that's available free is called Serving Up My Plate, a Yummy Curriculum. There's 3 different levels for the elementary grade levels. And as you can see from this slide, you get posters, you get curriculum, there's songs, and there's also parent handouts that come in English and in Spanish. So this is just an example of one of the resources that's available. We will show you the handout that is posted that shows all the nutrition education resources that are available from the USDA on a handout toward the end of this webinar, and it'll be posted at this link. Or you can go to the bottom website on the bottom of the slide, and you can actually look at all of them there and order free copies that would come to you directly at your school. Okay, so now I'd like to turn it over to our speakers. You're going to hear today first from Irving Elementary School Health Enhancement Teacher from Bozeman School District. And Irving is a K-5 elementary, one of 8 schools in the Bozeman School District. And then you're going to hear from Bigfork Public Schools and really mainly focusing on the elementary and middle schools. So today I'd like to turn it over right now to Mr. Jonny Morris, who is the Health Enhancement Teacher for Irving.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just share a little bit of my background before we start. I'm originally from England. You can probably tell by my accent. Entering the 9th year of teaching, the first 5 years I spent teaching in central London in the UK, and this is my 4th year teaching in Montana. I'm the health enhancement teacher at an elementary school in Bozeman, and we're located up near the local university, so we have a great diverse population here, which is lots of fun. I first met Katie through the Wellness in Action grant in 2016. Our schools are successful applicants. We've benefited greatly from this involvement. It's funded lots of our initiatives, and I'm going to share some of those with you now. The first thing we wanted to do at the school was try and capitalize on the excitement and suggestions from the children and some of our local community. So one suggestion was to have a voice from the children about things and strategies they thought would like to include to improve the health or activity levels of our school population. So we had some passionate children get together in 5th grade and actually applied for the position to be in the Irving Health Advisory Council, which is a proud title and achievement for them to get. Once we assembled our council, we kind of put our heads together and decided which direction we wanted to take things. Excuse me. And the children were very passionate about creating some kind of smoothie store where they could source fresh local ingredients and produce and make it available to the children in our school population. There was a small fee attached to this, as we wanted it to be sustainable throughout the school year, not based on a one-off grant, which would ultimately run out. So we charged 50 cents per smoothie, and that paid for the fresh fruit and the kind of small cups and things we served them in. Really successful, really motivated, and we do still have lots of children who like to purchase the smoothies at school. Part of the smoothie store, sorry, I've just finished that, Katie. Part of the smoothie store, we were, with our successful grant application, we were able to purchase a fantastic blender, some chopping boards and knives and various kitchen-based utensils and equipment that we didn't currently have. So it's a fantastic system we have set up, and that was funded by our Wellness in Action grant. Another aspect of our healthy initiative here at Irving is children's cooking program. And again, we're very fortunate to have a positive and engaged parent involvement with our school. And we actually have a couple of local parents who are interested in testing out their culinary skills, and one owns a local cafe, so she's kind of been the driving force behind it. But again, using money we've had from our Wellness in Action grant, we were able to purchase a full classroom set of chopping boards, knives, bowls, graters, peelers, and provide them to the parents who've set up designated times for children to come and experiment again with local produce, sourcing things that are in season, creating delicious fresh recipes that the children can then take home and share with their families. So that's also been a really successful aspect. The third slide is related to our nutrition and garden education, and this is supported again by our parents who have helped seed the garden, tend to it, and then again working with myself in Gallatin Valley Farm to School, provide some nutrition education, some really hands-on practical experiences for the children to go through the whole process of choosing the seeds, planting the seeds, looking after them, tending to the garden, and then ultimately harvesting them and eating them. Excuse me. So they really get to see the whole process and really get that hands-on experience, which I think has been fantastically motivating to them. And we're very lucky to have this space outside. It's taken many, many hours of volunteering, of parents on the weekend and local university students coming and running sessions in the garden, but to have the opportunity for children to experience, like I said, the practical hands-on has been fantastic, really empowering for them to see that whole cycle, not just getting vegetables out of a plastic bag. And finally, I've mentioned before, but our relationship and continued work with Gallatin Valley Farm to School has been immensely beneficial to our children, and just ethos of fresh local ingredients in the school. We had them in again today, and I'll give you the example from our 5th grade lesson today, but we work with Erin Jackson very closely, who comes into our school and reaches all 300 of our children, K through 5. But in 5th grade today, she came in, played some fun, nutritious-based games, all about local, seasonal vegetables and fruits. This month the focus was on beets, so the children played a tagging game, and they're given the nutrition information, and then parts of that game relate back to the nutrition information, so it's being reinforced throughout the lesson. And then later on the lesson, they actually made a very nutritious and healthy smoothie with local kale, local beets. I'm not sure if the raspberries were local, but all organic, fresh produce. And you can see from the slides the children very engaged and doing all of the work, which is, really great to see, giving them the skills that they can carry forwards throughout their elementary education, but also middle school, high school, once they start getting presented and tempted with McDonald's or fast foods and all those quick and convenient food choices. I think it's nice to empower them with the skills to be able to combat that and make their own salads and not pay lots of money, just go and grab local organic carrots. So we're very, very thankful to Gallatin Valley Farm to School to kind of keep this relationship going. And again, the Wellness in Action grant to helping fund some of this. Any further questions, you can feel free to drop a comment in the box below and I'll do my best to answer them.
Thank you, Jonny. Thank you so much. You can tell your passion for helping grow healthy kids, and we really appreciate you taking time to share what you're doing at Irving. Like Jonny said, we will take questions at the end for both speakers. So right now, turn it over to Mary Ahnert and Ginny Kirby from Bigfork Public Schools. Ginny is the food service director, and Mary is a counselor and health enhancement educator at Bigfork. So I think, is it right that Ginny, are you starting?
Yeah, I'm starting. So hi, I'm Ginny Kirby, and I've been with Bigfork School Food Service for 13 years. Our school wellness team has been working together since 2011. Each year the committee has brought in new members and formed subcommittees so that participation in the district wellness is expanding among staff, students, and community members. The strength of our team is the diversity of interests and skills each member brings, as well as the willingness of the team to bring in community support. Bigfork School District, School Board, and the administration has consistently approved the projects the wellness team has pursued, like our healthy vending, recess before lunch, school garden, yoga mini grants, and our food corps service members. Next slide. Next slide.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. So this slide shows what we have included in our wellness policy, and we've had support from OPI and Team Nutrition guiding us in the process of revising our wellness policy within the last year. Our policy is in the review stage with our board, and now I will give it over to Mary, and she will talk about movement.
Okay. I'm Mary Ahnert, and I've been a member of our wellness team since 2011. And it's really been a fun team to be a part of because we've accomplished so much in the last 6 years. We have literally created a healthy school culture. For example, 6 years ago, my students were bringing bags of chips to class for their morning snack. And I really don't see that anymore. Just this morning in my health class, I noticed one student was eating an orange, another one had an apple, and one of the boys was sharing his bag of snap peas with the kids around him. And it's just fun to see all the changes that have come about as a result of our wellness team working with classroom teachers and our food corps service members. So I just want to highlight a couple of things that we've done. One is increasing physical activity, and the other is nutrition education. So next slide. In 2013, the wellness team applied for a Wellness in Action mini grant. And one of our problems that we were trying to solve was that our kids don't get PE every single day. And so we used $750 from the mini grant to pay a travel stipend to an educator named Sally Nee, Venetian, and Meek. And that year, Sally Nee came in once a week, and she taught Zumba and yoga to my 7th and 8th grade health classes. That same grant provided $100 per month to pay for nutritious snacks. We found that middle school students really learn best when it's hands-on and when they have the opportunity to share what they're learning with younger students. So we used the money to buy fruits and vegetables that my health classes prepared and served to the younger kids. And my first lesson in preparing healthy snacks was a total disaster. I assumed that 8th graders would know how to make carrot and celery sticks, and we ended up with a lot of cut fingers and some really unattractive hunks of carrots. And so I used some of that grant money to buy some good quality knives, and then I invited a local sushi chef to come in and teach knife skills. And then each semester the 8th graders hosted a nutrition fair for the elementary school, and they served platters of beautifully cut vegetables and then fruit smoothies that they prepared. So we received similar grants in 2014 and 2015, but our team realized the importance of making our efforts sustainable, so our focus changed. We spent less money on purchased food and started to incorporate food from our school garden as a source of healthy snacks. Sorry about that. And then instead of having Sally Nee just work with middle school students, we asked her to provide professional development to help our elementary teachers incorporate movement into their daily classroom routines. So she went into each classroom and modeled creative movement lessons and showed teachers how they could use certain yoga poses to calm their students down and get them ready to learn. And today, as a result, most of our teachers now provide movement breaks throughout the day. Next slide. As you know, one of the difficulties in sustainability is staff changes, and we faced that last year. I had applied for another mini grant to pay a stipend for Sally Nee to teach yoga in my health class, but after receiving approval for the grant, my assignment was changed and I was no longer teaching health. Fortunately, the man on the picture there on the left with his back to the camera is Sky Thorson. He's our middle school music teacher. He volunteered to have Sally Nee teach dance to his students. And his class is world music. So each week, Sally Nee came in and taught Sky students dance from a different culture. Next slide. This year, we received a grant from the Montana Arts Council to expand the work Sally Nee is doing in the world music class. So on Tuesday, she comes in, there's Sky dancing again. She teaches Sky's 8th graders a dance, and then on Thursdays, the 8th graders teach an elementary class the same dance. And we found that this year, the 8th graders are way more into it because we found that they're more motivated when they know that they're going to have to teach younger students. So we just have had a lot of success. We're really proud of it, and I'd just like to end my part by saying that all this has been made possible because of Katie Bark and her support, and so I'd really encourage students or schools to become a team nutrition school. Thank you.
And so the next slide this is Ginny again, and Bigfork was one of the 30 pilot schools for Harvest of the Month last year, and we were successful in implementing the program with all of the great materials and guidance Aubrey Ross gave us. We continue to be a part of the Harvest of the Month program because it gives students the opportunity to learn about different foods and focus on one item while also incorporating other delicious vegetables and fruits with the item of the month. One of the ideas our Food Corps member Maddie Halverson came up with last year was the Harvest of the Month Extravaganza, and the next couple of slides will explain what we did for our celebration. So last year, the kids dressed up every day. First of all, we started off with an assembly explaining what we were doing, and then each day a menu item, mainly local, was put on the menu to celebrate the Harvest of the Month. And so it was really fun seeing all the kids dressed up for the whole week, and even some of the teachers got into it. And then one of the other things we did was we named our cafeteria during the extravaganza, and kids were able to put creative names in the voting box, and at the end of the week, we tallied up everything and came up with the fork. And there might be a picture. I can't remember.
It was earlier.
Oh, was it earlier? Okay. So the next slide will show what we're doing this year in March. Kind of the same thing. Our Food Corps gal was awesome. She's thought up all these fun little names, Apple Pie Day, St. Patty's Kale Day. She's just been really awesome in helping us. And so next slide, our school garden, the teachers per grade have their own planting boxes, and each of the Food Corps members we had have helped get them started over the last 4 years. In September, last September, the teachers and students harvest their yummy fruits and vegetables, and last year they brought the cafeteria their tomatoes, onion, garlic, baby potatoes, carrots, chives, and strawberries. And since we don't receive a lot of that food, we fruit from the garden, we put it on our salad bar. And so I make signs, you know, saying which class it came from, and the students love seeing that they were a part of the salad bar production. And that is all for Bigfork.
Thank you, Ginny and Mary. You guys really role modeled how you can have a team, and I know it's only you or two of the people of the Wellness Committee, but thank you for sharing your ideas. And I was thinking I would try to go back to that so you could see your cafeteria, but I don't seem to. Let's see if I can get back to this slide. I thought, wait a minute. There it is. I don't know if you can see that. That's the picture of your cafeteria. And so your cafeteria is called the Fork. That's cute. So, okay. So in closing, I guess we have a couple more things and we'll have time for questions. But I did want to just make sure, since Harvest of the Month is our newest program that we launched this year, and you heard about it from both of our speakers, or all our speakers, I wanted to make sure you could find out more about it if you'd like to join. The Montana Harvest of the Month program showcases Montana-grown foods in Montana schools and communities. It is a free nutrition and agricultural education program that teaches students about our Montana foods through a coordinated approach, as you saw in the classroom, cafeteria, and at home. It is available free to schools and after-school programs, so if you're interested. I do want to just clarify that the schools buy the food. We just have materials available for these 10 items right now. This is the suggested calendar, but you can do the food whenever it works for you. But like Jonny said, this month is February. And each month, the school, you'll get a packet of materials that contains a beautiful poster, the cafeteria flyer that has some recipes that can be used in the cafeteria, a teacher education flyer with some classroom activity and home flyer, and then additional information. So we hope that if you didn't know about it before, you know about it now, and if you're interested in it, I would contact Aubrey Roth, who is our Farm to School coordinator, and her website, her email and phone number on this slide. Like Ginny said, we did a pilot last year, which we were so thankful that it was so successful, and we really appreciate all the schools that participated, like Irving and Bigfork in it, because you see that from these results that kids were really introduced to Montana foods through taste tests, Montana meals, and 62% of the students that tried the item of the month really loved the item. So that's really exciting. I do also want to just put a plug in for some of the team nutrition resources that can support your gardening. This is called the Great Garden Detective. It's a grades 3 and 4, and it has lessons, some games that you can use, parent newsletters, and things. And this is again available through Team Nutrition. And then the next, the next one is Dig In, which is for grades 5 and 6. And again, it's 10 lessons, and it has colorful posters, and it's all about teaching kids about gardening. So if you'd like to order those resources, you can do so through Team Nutrition. So now I'd like to open it up for any questions or comments that people have for Jonny or Mary or Ginny, and I haven't checked the chat box, but Rachel, can you unmute everyone? And if anybody has a question or comment, we'll get
everyone's unmuted right now.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Are there any questions in the chat box? I
don't see any questions in the chat box.
Okay. I guess I had a question for Jonny or Mary or Ginny. How have you gotten buy-in with teachers, especially with gardening? Because I know it is a big commitment, and it's, but to engage the teachers in using the garden for lessons. Are there any tips for our attendees on how to engage teachers in that?
I can share a little bit from our experience, but I think it's knowing your staff. I think it's difficult to have a one-size-fits-all rule. You know, where teachers might need more support in terms of children in their class or time to go out or what to do in the garden. You can kind of direct your energy towards that, so making sure that everyone kind of feels confident in that process, because there's nothing worse than marching into a scenario with 20, 30 children not really know what you're doing. So my advice would be to think carefully about where you can apply your support and energy going forwards, to give the teachers the confidence to operate out there or just enjoy it. Some parents and teachers here know much more than me about gardening, so I'm happy to let them be the experts in these situations.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think at Bigfork it's helped that we've had a food corps member do lessons in the garden with the teachers and kids, so that she's kind of modeling how to go about doing that. And she's putting together a binder of what needs to be done in the garden each month, so teachers can look in there, and if they've got time in, let's say, October, they would know activities that they could do, or if they, want to wait till spring, they could look in the binder and see what they could do in May. So
that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, those are both really good tips. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Well, hearing none, I guess we'll move on. Just want to, let's see here, how to go forward. Okay. Now, Rachel, could you do the next two poll questions, and then we'll, okay. Thank you. And then the next one. Great. Thank you very much for doing that. Okay, so in closing, I guess I just want to again thank Jonny and Ginny and Mary for sharing their inspiring stories. It's always fun to hear how things are going at the local level, because we don't get to hear that very much. And I know we're going to share the link to this webinar with school wellness coordinators around the state, so they can, if they want to learn from you all, they'll be able to do so. And I know there's other school wellness success stories out there, so we, again, love to hear from you. So if you do have one, I'd love to have you send it to me or give me a call. I do want to just put up a website or a link with some helpful websites on the school wellness policy. If you want more information, please do contact me or go to one of these websites. And then just want to thank you for your time today. And if you'd like more information on Hot versus the Month, contact Aubrey Roth, or contact myself or Molly Stenberg with any other team nutrition initiatives. So thank you for joining us today, and thank you to all our speakers.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
I'll turn it over to you, Rachel, I think, to close.
Hey, thank you so much. So again, we do have a survey at the end, and I'd love if you would take it for us. Thank you so much.